Another day, another recording, another chapter. They will be covering chapter 10. It's called Files and Exceptions. Now that we've mastered the basic skill, hold on. It's time to think about how making your programs even more relevant and usable. In this chapter, you'll learn to work with files so your programs can quickly analyze lots of data. You'll learn to handle errors so your programs don't crash when they encounter unexpected situations. You learn about exceptions, which are special objects Python creates to manage errors that arise while a program is running. You'll also learn about the json module, which allows you to save user data so it isn't lost when your program starts running. Learning to work with files and save data will make your programs easier for people to use. Users will be able to choose what data to enter, when to enter it. People will be able to run your program, do some work, and then close the program and pick up where they left off. Learn to handle exceptions will help you deal with situations in which files don't exist and deal with the problems that can cause your program to crash. This will make your programs more robust when they encounter bad data. Okay, let's start this. Right, so here, right, so obviously we've got a path here. So we refer back to the book. So to read contents of the file, right, we can need a few lines of text in it. List out the file that contains PI decimal places, 10 decimal places per line. So you got that. Try folding examples yourself. You can end these lines and edit and save the file. Right, so we got so basically we got your module, right? And then we got the method, and then we got the class. So the class is path. The path, right? So then the variable basically for files and exceptions, right? You're gonna need the variable to equal to the class, right? And the class must include the module. Obviously, in Python, then path is a variable, then the method which write text, right? So it's gonna write out the text. So first, you're gonna need your module, right? Which is path lib. So path lib basically provides classes to represent abstract paths in concrete paths with operations that have semantics appropriate for different operating systems. And you got that. And then you got classes, right? So this path represents a file system path, but unlike pure path, also offers methods to do system calls on path objects. Depending on your system, instantiating a path will return either a POSIX path or Windows path object. You can also instantiate a POSIX path or Windows path, but cannot instantiate a Windows path on a POSIX system or vice versa. Okay, alright, so we've got the method, we've got the string, which is I love programming. So it's a string, this is your module. This is a method, right? Which is a module, But and then you got and then you got the basic function which is open. So you need to open learn underscore Python, and then for the variable, the content needs to equal to a variable along with along with the method by which def read. And obviously we do a function, and that function is printing out entire file cut to contents. It needs to print the contents. Then needs to print then the function, which is to take this which is to basically take the end, which basically like is a function, right? It's a listing function. And then with open learn Python underscore Python, that is file. So this is a function, right? Method function. Then the module, so it needs to open the module as file lines, file read lines. So this is variable and method, then function, then line, variable. So this is variable, function, variable. Then there's a method. So edit this. So you basically one. So that's how this is basically files and exceptions. Right. So obviously, what I wanted to do was I wanted the program to be printed out 2 times. The program 2 times. Right. So as you can see here, it's been printed out 2 times here. So then, what I tried to do was, obviously, I added the path lib on the top, import learning Python, open learning Python.txt as a file, contents file read, printing entire file contents. So obviously, I got this. So I got with Python, got this right. Then I also got that as well. So, what I did was I made sure that the entire file has been read out and printed right. The entire file, right? And then for the first one, they made sure that they read the file line by line into this loop over. I made sure that this was bringing entire files and documents line by line was basically read over. It made sure that this was read first, and then this was then this right. I love programming was looped over it. That's what I made sure happened. Right, so I love programming. Looped over. Oh, you can tell I'm doing this in the morning, but I'm just yawning. Print file cuttings line by line. As a non-native master, the basic skills you need to write organized programs that are easy to write blind. So read from a file. So try and follow examples yourself. You can edit these lines in editor and see the file as package.txt the contents of the file. You need to tell Python the path to the file. A path is the exact location, file, or folder on the system. Python provides a module called pathlib that makes it easier to work with files and directories. No matter which operating system you or your program's users are working with, a module that provides specific functionality like this is often called a library. Hence the name pathlib. We start by importing the path class from pathlib. There's a lot you can do with the path object that points to a file. For example, you can check out you can check that the file exists before working with it. Read the file's contents or write new dots to the file. Here we pull the path attributes in the file. Okay, so you got that. Right, I'm gonna go into my file and then I get another example of this. Right, okay, yeah, right. So here's the method. So this is the module, right? And then here's the class, the module. This provides the classes, and then this is the class, right? Then you got contents, the variable, and you got the string here of the variable. So this plus equals sign. Basically, what it wants you to do, it wants you to retain this, the first variable, but it wants you to add on to that variable. So I love creating new games. Also love working new games. So you adding on. So you add on, add on. So variable. So you got a variable, right? Then you got your variable, and then you got your class, your arguments, your string path. Then obviously after that you got your string, uh, variable, method, variable, right? And then you got, obviously this is what's referring to. I love programming, love creating new games. I also love working with data. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Right, so obviously, okay. So we got that. So we have that, right? So we run this. So obviously, we're gonna take this file and then you're gonna drag it over to here and then you're gonna run it. Okay. Oh, okay. Right, so so we got that. Okay, got that. Right. And let's see here. Okay, I'll do this another time. So basically print it out. I'll have basically printed this out. You know, basically print that out. So that's what you got. And then so obviously the path, right? The path method or path class. You got pi digits.txt in your contents part. So obviously we got our module, then a class variable method variable method line variable print variable. So that's what you've got. You know, so we have. What? Right, okay. Okay. So you pretty much get what we're trying to do here. So I'm take faults and exceptions, right? Create a path for them, and then within that path, right, it's going to refer to the file as within the same directory as the file that we're using, right? Directory is the file that we're using, and then yeah, that's what we're doing here. That's what we got. Right, so obviously that's what we have here. Okay, so that's what we have. Then we also got an error logging. But what's called error logging, right? So you're gonna go over to so you've got exceptions, right? So you've got the exceptions. So basically, Python uses visual obstacle exceptions to manage errors that arise during a program's execution. So give me two numbers, now divide them. So you need to print out the string here. Print out this string. Then you've got first number Q, second number Q. So you've got the if else statement. So while true, this number input this along with the indentation, obviously. It means you read out the indentation for it to be run to run under this program. So you do /n the first condition break, so the second condition, right? Then try, then your answer. If you look like that. Assert the division error print you divide by 0. print answer, try, print L5 slash 0, print oopsie, right? So that's what you pretty much have. Okay, so that's what you pretty much have, you know. So that's got here. Okay, right there. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's what you have. So exceptions is basically error logging. Then your files, what you're doing is you're gonna take a file, use a path lib or file path, right, to track it down. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a file that's outside the file that you're working with, and then you're gonna basically place it in there. You're gonna import it basically. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to import it in your exceptions, is basically like error logging. So you're logging in error file, you're logging in, you're basically setting up a code, right? It's gonna set up an error. That's what you do, pretty much doing, right? Okay. Okay, so you got that, right? Okay, so that's what you pretty much have. And yeah, that's that. Thank you very much. So exceptions basically like error logging. So you're gonna take errors and you're gonna format them, right? That's what you pretty much do. So error logging, this, you got this, that, print answer, right? So basically you've got your, yeah, that's what you've got here. So you've got, so that's error logging, and then the else block, then obviously print a failure message and use how to avoid this kind of error. So you've got the, so you try execute zero division error, you can't divide by two, so you got an error, right? You're gonna need to show the user how to avoid this error, right? So handle the found not found error exception. So you got that. There's a trace back most recent list. So yeah. So that's what pretty much happens here. Exceptions. So yeah, up here now. Okay, so you got that. That's what you got here. Which you know is identified. Okay. Exceptions are file logging. So basically like error logging that gives you an error and how to avoid that error. And then our files basically copying down the path file and its contents in it. So you're gonna do path lib, then you got contents, right? Then you're gonna log in a file, basically log in a variable with a string called variation of the text called contents, right? Plus equals to add on to that path lib what type of files you're referring to, contents, and then that's what you pretty much. So that's what you have here actually. So well, there you have it. That's what you really have it. Oh, thank you, thank you very much. I appreciate it, and until next time.